Good morning on what is a warm, bright and humid day. It is Sunday the 25th of June. I've got a nice hot cup of tea. And a box to continue unboxing. What I'll pull out today is this, which is Fateforged, Epic Tales in the World of Eana, Book 1, Adventures. Discover the universe of Eana and its many unique civilizations, battle the loathsome forces of Kanka, find the lost portals of the travellers, and ascend the stairs of the Fateforge. Adventures is the core rulebook of the Fateforge series. It is intended for the use of both players and leaders and is composed of 3 parts. Character creation, in conjunction with your game leader, determine the conditions in which your character may awaken to magic and choose from a plethora of options. 9 playable species, 18 civilizations, a step-by-step guide to creating your area and background, 13 classes including the Scholar, a resourceful savant capable of contributing in every situation, even in regions devoid of magic, and many more archetypes, as well as a list of original feats to enhance the evolution of your hero. Daily life. Discover the mythic free city and a body of dedicated rules to spice up the daily lives and journeys of adventurers. Mysteries, exploration and discovery form the core of the gaming experience. Answer the call of adventure and travel to faraway lands, whether by foot, by boat, or by the Nephilatron. Game rules. The game mechanics are organised into 4 categories: abilities, adventuring, combat and health. Many optional rules are included, following a modular system that lets each leader define their own gaming system. Now, this is a Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition or 5th edition compatible rulebook and setting. It is published by Studio Agate. That's the blurb. It's fantastic art back there on the back. And Studio Agate is best known for their role-playing game and setting of Esteren, which is combines essentially the Celtic world with in a Renaissance period and elements of cosmic horror, and it's really worthwhile looking for. The books are fantastically illustrated, and there aren't actually very many of them because Studio Agate tends to work on them year by year to make sure they're good books. But in addition, it has brought out another Dungeons & Dragons, another setting, this one for Dungeons & Dragons. So, let's have a look inside. Okay, got the credits, and then let's start the contents page. This is quite lengthy, as you can see. And then we get the forward. And we've got an introduction to role-playing games there, an example of a scene, and then the explanation of the modular system. Now this is Fateforge uses a modular system that each leader define the atmosphere they wish to create for their stories. So these basically 5 categories: action, dark, gritty, intrigue, and mystery. And these are joined by awakening dragon and elusive magic. So you've got this list of icons that will be scattered throughout the book, attached to particular modules, so that the leader or the game master can pick and choose what she wants to use in her campaign. And then we're on to character creation. Now, I don't know, it's interesting, sort of like there's nothing in the way of background per se as yet. So, we have a step-by-step creation of process here. So choose your civilization, species, background, class, have they awakened to magic. Then determine ability scores, choose equipment, note skills and technical details, and so on, and then description and alignment. So, and then we have, step-by-step process, and an example, Ted the Rascal, and how he becomes, is it Ted? Ted the Rascal goes from Ted to the Rogue, and how he is created. and see, so he has gone Ted. Starts off with Ted the Halfling. So we've gone for actually starts with Ted, denizen of the Free City, Ted the Halfling, Ted the Rascal, Ted the Rogue, Ted the Deft Charmer. I've got notes in here on how to create a well-rounded party as well. So you've got sort of like you have a range of abilities and skills represented in a group. And then we've got sort of like a picture of Ted himself, all ready for adventure. And then we have the Fateforge, a description of sort of like beginning really description of the background and the setting, and theories about what the Fateforge is and what it does, and those people, those individuals who have passed through it, obviously become the Fate Chosen. And here we're being describe the world of Eana. And the civilizations. So you've got this little bit of a disconnect, I suppose, between here's how to create a character, and then you've got the background to the setting. So you know, it's there is a sense there of hold on a minute, I've got to, you know, you know, I've got to start thinking about a character automatically as I'm reading through this. So we've got different descriptions of the civilizations of Eana. Occasionally accompanied by interesting maps and depictions of the world. So you have free floating islands with sort of like castles on. And then after the description, we have a section on species, and these appear to be accompanied by some fantastic artwork. So Dragonborn, and that's absolutely, I mean, that's really fantastic artwork. The dwarves, elves, which is a bit more traditional. Gnomes, halflings, of course humans, half elves, and orcs. So still very mix of very traditional kind of Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition characters, including the tieflings, but essentially adjusted to fit the setting. Let me explore the character's history, including identity, skill proficiencies, additional proficiencies, equipment, features, characteristics, and including handicaps. And then we have some ready-made backgrounds, so you know your players can just pick off the shelf options, so including the acolyte, and animist, so on. Others include, we have Bohemians, Condottieri, Explorer of Wildlands, Notables, Recluses, Savants, Scoundrels, Survivors, Fallacy. That includes alignment, inspiration, and then we actually get onto classes. So, essentially, one of the first things it discusses is choosing one's class, access to magic, the awakening, elusive magic, teamwork, and complementary classes. So there is a sort of like, do the player characters have access to magic beyond the normal kind of classes, and then teamwork and complementary. Do the characters really kind of work together as a team? And then barbarians and bards. Illustrated again, did fit the world, adjusted as necessary as well. And they all come basically just optional things like, for example there, just colour content like bard stories, bard colleges of course, clerics, and the divinities here are divided into harmonic and entropic, which is an interesting way of looking at them, and similarly we have cleric stories. And then presentation of various domains that the clerics can have, basically whether aberrance, force, enigma, travel, so on. The druid, fighter, monk, paladin, just flip over these, ranger. I mean, again, variations upon sort of like, upon the traditional classes found in Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition, adapted for the setting of Fateforge, rogue, in each case is, you've got a series of, it discusses the idea of sort of like archetypes. So, for the rogue, you've got the thief and the spy and the hitman. So, it's really how to, build a character that you want. And the new class in here is the scholar. And they carry a bag of tricks. Essentially, they could be occultists, dracologists, or various different types of specialists. Then we have the sorcerer. The warlock. And the wizard. That's it. So yeah, the scholar is the new class there, sort of like kind of like a good support character that sort of like fits in, covering like different areas where you know, that might be kind of missing in the party or complementing a class already included. We have customization options, including multi-classing, and spellcasting, feats, including barfly, fast as lightning, harpooner, and then we will move on to part 2, because that's all part 1. Move on to part 2, daily life on the World of Eana, looking at trade, coinage, and so on. The importance of gemstones, and lifestyles of the rich and famous, and then your player characters. And then long-term activities influencing lifestyle. So you've got sort of like campaign, sort of like objectives there as well. Resources, which essentially, besides pursuing your lifestyle, you can essentially pursue other activities, including working, crafting, employment, selling loot, borrowing, services, spellcasting services when you don't have a spellcaster around, and then we have an equipment section. And armory, covering arms and armor, damaged weapons, forging weapons, yeah, we've got the weapons table, surprisingly short. There's the martial melee weapons table, but nice illustrations of the armor. Nice, bright and vibrant. Tool section. Flip forward through that. Provisions. You've got an apothecary section. Gear and rules for handling travel. And then part 3, game rules. So, resolution, using your abilities, advantages and disadvantage, proficiency bonus. Pretty much all of that will be familiar if you have played Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. So you've got a guide here to, using each ability. So each of those, and then actual adventuring rules, so movement and vision, light, dangers to the environment, resting, necessary to recover spells, and then hit points as well. What to do between adventures, I mean that's going back to the pursuits section earlier. Before we get on to combat, actions in combat. Cover, make an attack, damage rolls. Special situations including mounted and underwater combat. Health, you know, and how it suffers beyond mere loss of hit points, including their rules for wounds and diseases. And death. And lastly, you've got an appendix of conditions that your player characters can suffer: blinded, charmed, frightened, and the like. And a technical glossary. Which is actually quite lengthy. Explanation of the modular system there, the glossary, which runs to 5 pages, and then how to fill out your character sheet. And that's what the character sheet looks like. Along with the spell book, if you're a spellcaster. Yeah, so that is Fateforged, Epic Tales in the World of Eana, Book 1, Adventurers. Now, what's missing here from here is the spells book, and there is a grimoire also available. That's book 2. So, hope you've enjoyed this unboxing in the Nook. If you have, then please do click on the like button down below. And of course, if you've got any comments or feedback, I do appreciate you taking the time to post those. And lastly, if you want to be alerted to yet more unboxings in the Nook, where you will see me out here with a box containing a book or game, which I'll unbox and chat about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then do please click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks for watching another unboxing of the Nook. I will be back again soon with another one. Bye for now.